What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the channel. My name is ThatGamingDad25, and today we're going to be talking about EvanCC going to war with the community being in shambles, and talk about the tournament a little bit as well. Let's get into it, man. But first, if you don't mind, I'm gonna get into a couple of these YouTube comments. Y'all been showing so much love on this channel. It's only fair that I show some love to y'all. First, my boy Indy2K. If you don't follow Indy, go follow him on YouTube. He makes W content. He streams, does pack openings. Cool dude. He said nobody will ever look back at 2k25 as being a great game. It's the worst one ever. So I would say this. I think at the end of every year, or even in the middle of every year, people say that this game is the worst game ever. I think the gameplay is really good this year, in my opinion. The content, not so great. From what I hear on the rec side and the park side, people are enjoying the game a ton. I think from my team, some people aren't necessarily. Worst game ever, not in my opinion. But I think maybe by the end of the year, people might miss it a little bit, just a little bit. Next, my boy LeBron Raymond James the GOAT says, should we sell? Do you think the prices are going to drop in the near future? So I'm not an auction house guru. I live by simple opinion. If the card plays good for you, keep them. I don't do all this, selling, rebuying, preparing for the future. Yes, Opal LeBron's coming out. My Pink Diamond LeBron has enough badges to where I feel like I don't need Opal LeBron. My Wemby's badged out. I don't really want Michael Jordan. So the cards I want, my players are going to play, to put it simply. Do I care if my Paul George loses value? I really don't. Because he's going to stay on my team for the foreseeable future. I'm not the one to speak on this subject, I guess, because, definitely some of the Pink Diamond prices are going to drop when Jordan come out, and when LeBron comes out, when Penny comes out, and Kareem comes out. But I'm not really about that. I keep the cards that play for me. Y'all showed so much love for the last tournament that we had to run it back. We got a sponsor that was actually sponsoring a tournament for $300. So we're ready to get this popping. December 22nd, that's going to be a Sunday. We're starting 10 a.m. Pacific time, 12 p.m. Central, 1 p.m. Eastern. Anybody can participate, even if you're not a content creator. The only condition is you have to stream the games. So even if you're not a streamer, you can set up, a Twitch on your console and you can stream it to there. You just have to be able to stream the games. It's that simple. First place winner is going to get a 700k VC. Second place is going to get 200k VC. Third place is going to be 75k VC. And even if you don't want to play, if you want to come kick it in the tournament, in between rounds, we're going to be doing giveaways. We're going to give out 75k VC to 4 different people in the stream. But if you're not doing anything Sunday, come kick it. You might get blessed with some VC to try and pull that Dark Matter Jordan. Let's get into Community Corner, where we tackle some of the hot topics around the Twitter or X community and give our opinions on it. And it got a little bit spicy this weekend, guys. My boy Evan went to war with the whole community, and he stood his ground. Let's see how this whole thing started. So first, Boomy, I'm not really familiar with her. She's a content creator. Said, here are some more badges that you need to return for 2k26, or their functionality should be added to the existing badges. So she made a simple tweet, right? But then hater of the year over here. One thing about me, one thing about my channel is, we can debate, we can have arguments, but keep it respectful. But homeboy didn't even, talk about her point. He said, you went to community today and gassed this game because you were happy you could finally crack 10 views. Now you're talking BS about this and that. Too late to sing this song now. They don't care. They make money. The game don't got to be good, especially when they got sellouts like you in their pocket. So that's like the thing about the 10 views thing. I'm not familiar with her content, but that's a direct shot. That's something you could have easily sat here and debated with her. Even about her going to community today, you could have pulled up tweets about her hyping the game up or whatever before. But even then, like, no need to take shots at anybody, in my opinion. You just make yourself look like an a-hole. But Evan did come to her defense in a sense. He replied to that tweet saying, we invite creators to community day to play as much as they can and capture early footage for content. It's not a feedback event. Feedback is gathered at completely different opportunities, some of which aren't made public at all. So pretty much he's saying, yes, you went to community day. Yes, you had fun. But community day is not about feedback. We don't ask for feedback. It's an event for content creators. He followed that by saying it's impossible to account for every type of player, but we do try. Sometimes one playtest will have mostly comp and pro players, and another will have more casual players. Some people at playtest are creators, some people you probably have never heard of. So pretty much saying like the places where we do have feedback, we try to get people from every walk of the game. And you know, some people are creators, some people aren't. But this is where it got a little bit more spicy, guys. Badge Plug responded to Evan saying this: why be disingenuous about the process though? I select creators who will best take advantage of early access with the goal of reaching a big variety of players with informative content. This just isn't true, and I'm not going to sit here and boast about my analytics compared to others when it's already obvious enough. So pretty much Badge Plug came and said, let's be real. A lot of the bigger content creators in 2K aren't going to community day. Some people obviously have left a bad taste in 2K's mouth. Some people aren't sure why they are kind of blacklisted by 2K. They just are, and they're not sure why. So Badge Plug was like, let me take this moment to plead my point and see if I can get a response, which he did. Evan responded saying, sure, what I said is simplified. I can go on and on about qualities I like seeing in creators, but first and foremost is professionalism. Professional does not always equal positive. That applies to working with any brand, not just talking about NBA 2K opportunities. This isn't to say I have a foolproof way to determine who is safe to work with and who isn't. I don't have and have been burned before, which reflects poorly on me. So trust is built over time. So essentially what I read from this is professionalism, not just being positive about 2K, but also being like positive in your community, I would say. Like, you know, if you're going to be on your stream just bashing people in general, maybe, or just, I would say treat it like a job. You know, if your job found out you were doing certain things online, they're not going to like that. You might not get a job in the future. Not saying bad. I don't know Badge Plug's content that much, so I'm sure he's not like that. But you know, that's pretty much what Evan saying, which we could tiptoe the line and say whether that's how he actually does pick the people or not. Because there's some people that I don't think necessarily have been unprofessional. And that's what DBG had to say too. DBG says, where is the line drawn between being unprofessional and acting in front of a camera to entertain your viewers? Does the person have to be professional, or does their on-screen persona have to be? Because it's perfectly fine for a brand not to want to associate with someone because of their on-camera behavior, but branding those people as unprofessional by default is not right. Professionalism and being brand friendly are two different things, and it's fully understandable why a company wants to work with people who they do. So DBG said straight up, man, like he said straight up, like, you know, there's a difference between being professional and being brand friendly. One thing I'll say about DBG is, as much as he's the biggest criticizer of 2K, in my opinion, he's never done anything that was unprofessional. Now, granted, I could see why a company wouldn't want to work with somebody that pretty much for a whole year of the game strictly talked about how bad the game was. But at the same time, that's what he's getting at. He wasn't being unprofessional. And if it has something to do with him criticizing the game all year, you should stand on that. Because if we're going on professionalism, I don't think necessarily DBG did anything unprofessional last year. I've only followed them for a year and a half, maybe 2 years, but I've never seen them really do anything unprofessional. Huge criticizer, but never got personal with anybody. And if anything, he got kind of chased down from 2K and got banned for no reason. And even then, he laughed about it. So this tweet, like, I get where Evan's coming from, saying you gotta be professional, but who defines professional is the question. What is your guys' definition of professional? We want to know. So even outside of these conversations, the community is in shambles. Splash came at Evan and didn't really get much of a response. This is the update on what Splash is doing now. Deleting 2K on stream plus Q&A and reactions. So Splash, when he talked to Evan, he was trying to pretty much say, let's just have a conversation. If anybody knows about this game, it's me, which is facts. Do I think Splash has crashed out in the past? Kinda, yeah. Do I think Splash should be at community today? I think Splash will probably tell you he shouldn't be at community today. But the person that's the best at your game should be able to give feedback on the game. Whether you like him or not, he should be one of the first people to be able to be like, hey, this is what's wrong with this game. This is what needs to be fixed. If you like him or not, I get it. You don't got to invite him to community day or to, you know, events or anything, but you should maybe listen to what he has to say. He knows a little bit about this game. Most totally forgot the king of the court was today. That's how much this mode sucks. It's easy to get top 10%, just not worth the second of my time. So it's kind of like people just aren't playing the game. I'm still loving the game, but I understand why people aren't. And that's just kind of where the community's at right now. Aaliyah's Life said, once again, the 2K community is in shambles and we will always be in shambles. This is the only community that will spill hatred for a game that they play very often while arguing back and forth on Twitter about it. That's one thing about the 2K community, man. I've been heavy in the Madden community. I've been heavy in the MLB The Show community. But something about the 2K community, there's always tension. There's always arguing. There's always people going back and forth. There's always people going at the devs. There's always people going at the community. And that's just stuff that I wasn't necessarily seeing in other communities. You know, granted, there was complaints, but for the most part, it was like everybody loved everybody. But at the same time, it's crazy. Because in 2K, there's a lot more support for each other too. In the show and Madden, I'm like, everybody just kind of does their own thing. So as much beef as there is in the 2K community, there's a lot of love too. It's actually kind of crazy if you think about it. Call Me Meech says, scrolling the timeline, I see a bunch of 2K and none of it's about the game. Actually, it's kind of wild that when I fully think about it, the only thing I see about 2K ever is pack openings and arguments. Haven't even seen a 2K clip in forever. Dang, man, I actually miss when the game was good. And that pretty much sums it up. That's literally all you see on the timelines, people arguing with each other. And that's kind of where we're at right now. You know, it should be everybody love everybody. But unfortunately, that's just not where we're at. It's tough, man. But hopefully the ship turns around. But I feel like that's been the 2K community for years, to be honest. We have one miscellaneous topic to talk about today, and it's rough. Splash Bros said, please make this right. He did a lock-in and got a duplicate Chris Bosh. So do I think 2K should give him another pack with another opal? Yes. But is 2K obligated to? No, and that's unfortunate. There should be an exchange for something like that besides the Hall of Fame badge one. But unfortunately, it's like you know the risk of what it is going into it. And I feel like there's an algorithm this year where you're prone to pull duplicate cards from like the regular sets and from lock-in sets. I feel like you're prone to pull duplicate cards. And I feel like that's kind of untrustworthy, but that's a story for a different day. Hopefully he gets his meg right, but I don't think he will. All right, let's get into these moments, guys. And we actually did have a moment this weekend. Not a great one, but it's a moment. The Hornets and Bulls combined for 75 missed three-pointers last night, the most ever in regulation NBA history. That's the state of the NBA right now. It's crazy how many threes everybody's taking, but 75 missed threes in one game is insane. We also have one historical moment in 1961. Wilt Chamberlain began a streak of 7 consecutive games where he scored 50 points or more, one of Chamberlain's many records. So that's gonna wrap up today, guys. What do you guys think about the drama? What's your opinion on everything I talked about? Drop it down below. It might be a chance to get mentioned in the next video. As always, I appreciate the love. If you can, subscribe to the channel. We're on the road to 2,000, making progress every day. As always, y'all be safe. Peace.